Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Oxford 4000 Essential English Words, episode 14. I'm your host, Emma.
And I'm your co host, Frank. It's great to be back. Emma, you seem particularly cheerful today. Ready to dive into some new words?
Absolutely, Frank. I'm always excited to explore the building blocks of English. And speaking of which, I think our listeners are ready too. So let's get started.
I'm ready. So, what's on the menu for today? Lay them on us.
All right, here we go. Today we'll be covering relate, anything, carefully, dry, mutton, character, cottage, somehow, mushroom, and mechanism.
Wow, that's quite a mix. It sounds like we're going from a psychology class with relate and character to a countryside dinner with mutton, mushroom, and cottage. This is going to be interesting.
It certainly is. It shows how varied our language is. Now, before we jump into our word by word deep dive, a quick reminder to all our wonderful listeners.
That's right. If you're enjoying our show, please take a moment to save this episode, give us a like, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next episode. Your support helps us create more and better content for you.
Well said, Frank. Let's begin with our first word, relate. relate. To relate something to something else means to see or show a connection between them. In Chinese, that's guanlian.
So, like how I relate the word cottage to a cozy weekend?
Exactly, but it has another very common meaning, to understand and feel sympathy for someone or something because you have had a similar experience. The Chinese for this meaning would be closer to 理解 or 有同感.
Ah, that's a great distinction. So I can say, I relate to your story about getting lost in the city, meaning I've been there, I get it.
Precisely. Let's make a couple of sentences. For the first meaning, I could say, in the report, you need to relate the sales figures to the marketing campaign.
And for the second meaning, I find it hard to relate to characters in movies who never make mistakes. They just don't feel real.
I completely agree. Let's move on to our next word, anything. anything. It means a thing of any kind, or it can be used to emphasize a statement. The core meaning is 任何事物.
I feel like I hear this word a lot in questions like, is there anything I can do to help?
Yes, it's very common in questions and negative sentences, such as, I don't want anything for my birthday. But you can also use it in a positive sentence to mean no matter what. For example, you're so talented you can do anything you set your mind to.
That's a powerful one. Or if a friend asks what I want to eat, I might say, I'm so hungry I could eat anything.
Perfect. That shows you're not picky at that moment. Now, let's handle our next word with care. The word is carefully. carefully. It's an adverb that means with great attention and thought. In Chinese, 仔细地.
I should have listened more carefully to my GPS this morning. I took a wrong turn and was almost late.
Oh no! See, a perfect real life example. Another one could be the doctor carefully examined the patient's x ray, or she carefully placed the fragile glass on the shelf. It implies a delicate, focused action.
Got it. It's the opposite of doing something carelessly. Speaking of which, after that stressful drive, I need a drink. Is the next word water?
Not quite, but it is related. Our next word is dry. dry. It can be an adjective meaning something that has no water or moisture, or a verb meaning to make something dry. That's 干燥的 or 弄干.
So, my shirt is not dry yet, or please dry the dishes. But what about when someone has a dry sense of humor? They're not thirsty, are they?
Haha, no. A dry sense of humor is when someone makes jokes in a very serious or subtle way, so it's not always obvious that they're joking. It's a very clever, witty style.
I see. He has a very dry wit. That makes sense. Okay, what's next? I'm getting hungry again.
Well, our next word might fit right in. It's mutton. mutton. This is the meat from an adult sheep. In Chinese, it's simply 羊肉.
Mutton. Okay, I know lamb is also sheep meat. What's the difference? Is it just age?
Exactly right. Lamb is from a young sheep and mutton is from an adult one. Mutton often has a stronger flavor. For instance, the restaurant is famous for its spicy mutton curry.
And you might see mutton stew on a menu in the winter. It's a very hearty dish. I feel cozier just thinking about it.
Me too. Now, from food to fiction. Our next word is character. Character. It has two main meanings. First, a person in a book, play, or film. The Chinese is 角色.
Like Sherlock Holmes is a famous fictional character.
Correct. The second meaning is the combination of qualities that make up a person's personality. We call this 性格 in Chinese. For example, he has a very cheerful character.
What about when people say he's a real character? Does that mean he has a strong personality?
Yes, exactly that. It usually means the person is interesting, unusual, or amusing in some way. For example, my uncle is a real character. He's always telling the craziest stories.
I think we all have a character like that in our families. It's a fun way to describe someone.
It is. And speaking of characters, they often live in interesting places, which brings us to our next word, cottage. cottage. A cottage is a small house, especially in the countryside. In Chinese, 小屋.
Ah, the dream. A cozy little cottage by the sea or in the mountains. It sounds so peaceful.
It does, doesn't it? A sentence could be, they spent their summer vacation in a charming little cottage in the woods. It brings up a very specific, lovely image.
Definitely, it feels so different from just saying house. But what if getting to that cottage was difficult?
Then you might need our next word somehow. Somehw. This adverb means in a way that is not known or certain. The Chinese equivalent is 不知何故.
Like when you lose your keys and they turn up in a place you swear you already looked. You don't know how, but they're there. Somehow, my keys ended up in the refrigerator.
That's a perfect use of the word. It's for situations where the process is a mystery, but you get a result. Another example, the car broke down, but we somehow managed to get to the airport on time.
It's a word full of mystery and relief. Okay, what's next? I feel like we're building a story here. We have a cottage, a character, and we've somehow gotten there. What are we eating besides mutton?
How about this mushroom? Mushroom. It's a type of fungus, often edible. That's 蘑菇, but it's also a verb.
A verb? How can you mushroom?
To mushroom means to grow or increase very quickly. For example, after the positive reviews, new cafes began to mushroom across the city. It implies rapid expansion.
Oh, that's a great visual. Like how actual mushrooms can pop up overnight in a field. So I can say, I love mushrooms on my pizza. And also, the controversy mushroomed on social media.
You've got it perfectly. Now, for our final word, which is a bit more technical, mechanism. Mechanism. A mechanism is a set of moving parts in a machine that performs a task, or a method or process for getting something done. In Chinese, it's 机制 or 机理.
So the winding mechanism in a watch or the locking mechanism on a door, it's the how it works part of a machine.
Precisely. But it can also be abstract. For instance, psychologists talk about coping mechanisms, which are mental processes we use to deal with stress.
That makes it much clearer. So it's not just for physical machines. A sentence could be, the company has a clear mechanism for handling customer complaints.
An excellent example. And with that, we've explored all 10 of our words for today. Before we move on, a quick reminder to our listeners, if you're finding this deep dive helpful, please save the episode's word list, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get ready for our next set of 10 words.
Now, I'm really curious to see how we're going to put all of these into one conversation.
Well, get ready, Frank. Let's head into our scenario dialogue segment. Imagine you and I are planning a weekend trip.
Ooh, I'm in. Let's do it.
Frank, I found the most charming little cottage online we can rent. It's out in the countryside.
A cottage? I love that. But is it easy to get to? I don't want a repeat of last time.
The directions are a bit strange, but I'm sure we'll somehow figure it out. The reviews say the area is perfect for long walks.
As long as it's not a place from a horror movie, with a creepy main character who lives next door.
Haha, no. The owner is described as a sweet old man, a real character apparently. And the kitchen is fully stocked. We can make that mutton stew you love.
Oh, now you're talking. And we can go forage for wild mushrooms too. I've been reading a book about it.
Frank, please be very careful with that. I don't want us to eat anything poisonous.
Don't worry, I have a guide. The book explains the mechanism for telling safe ones from toxic ones. It's quite scientific.
All right, I trust you. The weather forecast says it will be sunny and dry, so it's perfect for hiking.
This trip is going to be amazing. I can really relate to the need for a quiet weekend away from the city.
And there we have it, all 10 words in one short dialogue.
That was smooth. I almost forgot we were trying to use them all. It felt like a real conversation. Mechanism was a tricky one to fit in, but you did it very carefully.
Thank you, Frank. It shows how these words can naturally fit into our daily lives.
It really does. And now, it's time to put our listeners to the test. Welcome to the Chinese to English practice segment. I'm going to give you a sentence in Chinese that uses some of today's words. Your job is to translate it into English. Ready?
We're ready for you, Frank. Listeners, don't be shy. Give it your best shot.
Okay, here is the first challenge sentence.
那个小说角色仔细地品尝着羊肉，思考着下一步的计划。
I'll give you a moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Frank, what are some good answers?
A great direct translation would be the novel's character carefully tasted the mutton while thinking about the next plan. Another excellent option could be the character from the novel savored the mutton carefully, contemplating his next move.
Savor and contemplate are wonderful, more descriptive synonyms here. Both are fantastic. The first is clear and direct, the second is more literary. Great choices. Ready for another one?
You bet. Here's the second sentence. 不知何故，乡间小屋的供暖机制坏了，但我们还是设法度过了一个愉快的周末. A little longer this time. 5, 4, 3,
Yeah, you can do it, everyone.
2, 1.
All right, what do we have, Emma? For this one, a good answer is somehow the heating mechanism in the country cottage was broken, but we still managed to have a pleasant weekend.
That's perfect. You could also say, for some unknown reason, the cottage's heating mechanism failed, yet we somehow had a delightful weekend anyway. Using failed for was broken and delightful for pleasant adds a nice touch.
I love that version. It shows how many ways there are to express the same idea. Okay, Frank, let's have one final challenge.
Let's do it. This one might be a bit tricky. Here it is. 我无法理解为什么任何小问题都会像蘑菇一样迅速演变成大麻烦. Okay, listeners, your final countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're back. This one uses the verb form of mushroom. A great translation would be, I can't relate to why anything that is a small problem mushrooms into a big trouble so quickly.
That's a very literal and good translation. Another way you could phrase it is, I don't understand how any little issue can mushroom into a huge problem. Or even, I can't grasp why the smallest things somehow mushroom into major complications. They all capture that feeling of frustration perfectly.
Excellent. And that wraps up our practice session. You all did a fantastic job.
You really did. And with that, our episode is coming to a close. But don't worry, we'll be back soon. Emma, can you give our listeners a little teaser for the next episode?
Of course. In our next episode, we'll be tackling cover, provision, unlike, regularly heavy, salesman, statue, monkey, tonight, and response.
Ooh, monkey and statue. I'm already looking forward to that one. Everyone, if you learned something new today, please show us some love. Like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends.
And please don't forget to hit that notification bell. Your support truly means the world to us and helps us keep creating these episodes.
It's been another great session, Emma. I feel like I could talk about words all day.
Me too, Frank. It's always a pleasure. A big thank you to all our listeners for joining us. Until next time, keep practicing.
Goodbye, everyone.